everyone, Emily here from Emily Reads, and today I have for you my September pile of possibilities. So in September, and the reason why I say pile of possibilities is there are for sure a few books that I definitely want to read in September, but I'm doing two readathons. So I'm participating in Series September, which Krista from Books and Jams and Sarah from Sarah's Nightstand, they're hosting. So I'll try to tag them in the description below, and then you can find their channel and watch their announcement video. And then Andrew from Andrew's Wizardly Reads, he is hosting a readathon on his Discord. And they both work, and again, I'll tag I'll tag him below too so you can find his video. So they both work a little bit differently. So for Series September, you can read any series that you want. And there's different prompts. They have a bingo board and different prompts. And the different prompts are very loose, so they can be interpreted in different ways. For Andrew's Wizardly Reads, his readathon, I believe there are 25 prompts. I'm on Team Druid, and there are 25 prompts, and you can select a book for up to 8 prompts only. And so you can read, even though I'm on Team Druid, I can read prompts for Team Bard, which I'm reading a lot for Team Bard. But the points don't go to Team Bard, they go to my team. Sorry, I did not clarify that well. So like, each team has different prompts that fit their team, but you can pick and choose from any team that you read, and those points will apply to your book. So you get a point for doing the prompt, for writing a review, and I don't know how else you get a point. Like you could get 3 points per book, but I don't remember the third way. Rats. I don't remember. I'll have to go back and review the rules. At any rate, so you can earn up to 25 points for your team if you choose to do the Discord buddy read. I'm not doing any of the Discord buddy reads because I'm trying to do books from my bookshelf. So the books that are involved in buddy read prompts I don't have, so I'm choosing to not participate in those buddy reads because I don't own the books. At any rate, let's get started with this video. So first, it's also Short Story September, so I do want to read some short stories from The Inheritance. This is my by Robin Hobb and Megan Lindholm. They are the same person. This is my signed copy. I'm so excited. But there is a Realm of the Elderling story in here, so for sure I plan on reading that. And hopefully I can get to all of the stories in here, or at least make a good dent in it. And there is a prompt for Andrew's Wizardly Reads readathon to read an anthology or a collection of short stories. But because I've got other books for Series September that this doesn't fit in, I'm not going to be using this to complete that prompt because I have other books. Where am I going to put this? All right. Sorry. So I've got my notebook here, and I'm going to go back and forth, so I apologize. So first up that I for sure want to read is I want to read Jade City by Fonda Lee. And Tori over at Tori's Talks, she is doing a buddy read with her Patreons and also just on her channel. So you don't have to be a Patreon to participate in the buddy read, but you do get access to more things if you're part of her Patreon. So she's doing, starting September, a Jade City buddy read. And then in October will be Jade War. November will be Jade Legacy. So in this is just the Greenborn Warriors. They use jade to enhance their abilities and defend the island from foreign invasion. And then now this war is over and a new generation is vying for control of the capital city. And four siblings are preparing for battle. So I've heard really good things about this trilogy, and Kate from the Literary Apothecary, she so graciously gave this book to me towards the end of the school year. It was a rough school year for me, and just as an encouragement, she gave this to me. So I was hoping to get to this sooner than later, and fortunately, all works out to read this sooner in September. So for series September, this is going to go under hyped, and then for Andrew's readathon, this is going to fill the prompt for an author who shares part of their name with a musician. And Fonda, there is a musician named Joseph Fonda, who is a famous musician and composer, apparently. So that's how I'm using that for my readathons. For sure, I also want to read Girl in the Tower because I just read Bear and the Nightingale in July, and I thought it was absolutely beautiful. There are some things that I'm really worried about that might happen, and so this book is the second in the trilogy, and it follows Vasilisa, who she is able to see different like spirits. So in Russia folklore, like the home has a spirit, the stables have a spirit, each like place in the village has a spirit, and she's able to see them and gives them offerings so that way they will continue to protect their home and their stable and her village. But because of that, the villagers now believe that she is a witch, and she has to choose between marriage or becoming a nun. She doesn't want to do that. And so now she is kind of charged with protecting the village and also protecting the village from evil forces. And then this is her journey from the it just continues on her journey from Bear and the Nightingale. I really loved it. So for this would fulfill the prompt an animal companion or a shapeshifter. You can see there's a horse there. That is her animal companion. And then for series September, there's a prompt called Double. So you can either interpret that as reading two books in the same series, reading a book in a duology, reading the whole entire duology, or reading the second book in a series. I'm interpreting it as read the second book in the series. Another thing I should add, all of my books, I've tried to keep them a bit shorter so that way I can complete as much as I can. It's still the beginning of this. I know Jade City is a little bit longer. It's still the beginning of the school year. I don't have my caseload yet. And so September, usually what happens is that's the month where if I have any new students that transferred into our district, you have a deadline. It's usually, I can't remember the exact number of days. There's a deadline where you very quickly have to meet and have any new intake IEPs. So I'm trying to stick to shorter books in case I do end up having some new intakes. Last year I had 4 on my caseload, and that was a lot. So that's why I'm trying to be very careful in what I select. So then the next book I plan on reading, this now also fits a prompt for the Reddit Fantasy Bingo that's been going on for a year. It starts April 1st, goes through March 31st of the following year. And that prompt is kind of like a mundane or an ordinary job. And the main character's job is a teacher, although as a teacher, I don't think our job is quite that ordinary because you just never know what you're going to get in a day. But for series September, this would fit the prompt of recommended. I know, like, and by recommended, I'm going with just BookTuber recommends it. I know Alan over at the Library of Alexandria really loves this book. For Andrew's readathon, the prompt that I'm using this for, sorry, I have to look at my notebook, is a quest trope. So what this is Thomas Senlin. He is recently married, and he and his wife, they go to the Tower of Babel for their honeymoon. And there he go, once they get there, his wife, I think, I don't know, she disappears, whether she's kidnapped or I don't know. But anyway, he's on a quest to find his wife. I think you could probably also for Andrew's readathon that you can use this for assassination or assassin, because it says on the back that he must endure betrayal, assassination attempts, and illusions of the tower. So I've heard really good things about this, so it's time to start. And it's also, it's 385. It's just over 385 pages, so it's not horribly long. The next book I want to read is Vicious by V.E. Schwab. This also fits an R fantasy bingo prompt for superheroes that are not Marvel or DC Comics. And this is the story of Victor and Eli, and they are college roommates. And they conduct an academic research project their senior year that gives them supernatural abilities. But from what I understand is that they are not superheroes. They are more super villains, I believe. So this is the first in a duology. For Andrew's readathon, the prompts that I'm using this for is found family trope. And yes, I Googled to just confirm, like, is there a found family in this? Yes. So I think Victor and Eli are supposed to be found family brothers. And then for series September, I'm using this as start a series. So this is the first in a duology. There's Vicious and then Vengeful. Sorry I keep looking to the side. So just so you're aware, here's my notebook. It's not very pretty, what I did for series September. And what I do is I just write the prompts, and then in pencil I write the books that I plan on doing, and then when I finish reading them, I erase it and then rewrite it in pen. And then here's what I've got for Andrew's readathon. And then this is housed in a Chic Sparrow Traveler's notebook cover. And then, so this is what I've been using for this year. And then this one is a bit chunkier, so it'll give me more pages for next year. I do have my Cosmere reading order in here, a Jude Devereaux reading order, and something else. Cosmere, my R Fantasy Bingo's in here, and my Dresden Files order. So that's what I'm looking at and why I keep looking to the side. So sorry for that side detour, but now you know how I organize things. The next book that I want to read is the third book in the Tales of the Kingdom. And this is The Tale of Oriel. And so this is about a young boy named Oriel. And I guess it sounds like he might be a slave. So he says, no matter how torturous the Damal beatings were, he would not let his fear show. He was brave. And then Griff watches him from afar, admiring the strength of this boy who didn't have a name. So, but neither courage nor cowering would spare them from the incessant cruelty of the Damal. When the two unlikely friends realize they must escape or face a lifetime of brutality, they flee from the island, taking with them the most cherished possession of the Damal, the barrel, a green gemstone engraved with a falcon. Soon their prize binds their fates forever as they set off into a world more perilous than either could have imagined. So this is the third book in her series. For Andrew's readathon, I'm using this as the cover features nature or landscape. So you can see this is landscape. And then for series September, I am using this as triple. So again, triple could be read a trilogy, read one book in a trilogy, or read the third book in a series. And this is the third book in the Tales of the Kingdom series. The next book that I might read now, so for sure that I plan on reading is Jade City, Girl in the Tower, and like Vicious or Senlin Sens, because that's our fantasy bingo. What I also really want to read is I want to continue on with Dresden Files. I'm going slower through it than I thought I would. I thought I would read a book a month, and that just hasn't happened. But I want to read White Knight by Jim Butcher. And for series September, this is an old prompt. And by old, just meaning it's an older series because it came out in the early 2000s. So it's an older series. And this book came out, I think, in 2012. Oh, this book came out in 2007. So it's a 16-year-old book. So it's old. I'm not going to say what this is about because it's just going to spoil a lot of things. For Andrew's readathon, there is a prompt where it has a wizard on the cover or in the title. And Harry Dresden, he's a wizard. So this is book 8 or 9 in the Dresden Files. I don't remember which one. But I really enjoyed the previous one, except there was some moments with Molly that I just did not appreciate. So I'm kind of hoping that doesn't happen in this book, and I'm wondering what's going to happen in this book. But I've really been enjoying the Dresden Files, and I'm looking forward to continuing on with the series. Okay, now we're kind of entering into, I probably won't, and the stuff that I, like Vicious and Senlin Sens, I don't know if I'm going to get to. Simply because, again, adjusting to going back to school is challenging. There's no tired, like teacher tired at the beginning of the school year. The next 3 books I probably will not read, but they're there as possibilities. I still do want to read them. I just don't know if I'm going to get to them. So first off is Winter of the Witch by Catherine Arden. This is book 3 in the Winter Night trilogy. And for series September, this fits the prompt of finishing a series because it's just a trilogy. For Andrew's readathon, what does it fit? It features a book that features poems, songs, or lyrical prose. I don't know if there's poems or songs in this book because I haven't read it yet, but Catherine Arden's style, her writing is just, she's got some very beautiful prose. And so I'm saying that this has lyrical prose in it if she continues with her writing style that she started in Bear and the Nightingale, which I believe that she will. The next book that I also really desperately want to read is The Mask of Mirrors by M.A. Carrick. This is on the bottom because it is a chunky one. So that's why it's on the bottom. I just don't know if I'm going to get to it. Maybe I'll carry it over into October because it feels like it's got some October vibes. But this is, the back says, fortune favors the bold, magic favors the liars. Ren is a con artist who has come to the sparkling city of Nads. I'm not going to pronounce it right. N. We're going to say N because it starts with the letter N. And that's a reading strategy that I tell students when they struggle with pronouncing proper names. If you can't say the name, just say the first letter. So Ren is a con artist who has come to the sparkling city of N with one goal: to trick her way into a noble house, securing her fortune and her sister's future. But her masquerade is just one of many, and as a corrupt nightmare magic. When I heard that nightmare magic, I thought, ooh, that sounds wild. As a corrupt nightmare magic begins to weave its way through the city of dreams, the poisonous feuds of its nobility and the shadowy dangers of its impoverished underbelly become tangled, with Ren at their heart. So, the prompts that this would fit. For Andrew's readathon, this would fit. So it's an interesting magical system. Like the idea of nightmares being at the root of the magical system just sounds absolutely terrifying to me. And then for series September, new. So you can interpret new as like you're starting a brand new series that came out recently. Or you could read a book that's relatively new to you. This is a new to me book. I purchased it over the last few months, so it's relatively new to me. And then last but not least, so I'm really struggling with this one. That would be Priory of the Orange Tree. So I've read through page 374. And we're going to save some thoughts for my August wrap-up. This is at the bottom of my TBR pile right now for reasons to discuss in my August wrap-up. However, this would fit chunky for series September, and I'm counting this as a series for series September because Day of the Fallen Night is a prologue. Yes, this is technically a standalone, but there is now a prologue that is connected to it, so I'm kind of bending the rules here, I know. But my other chunky option that I could think of would have been Oathbringer. And I still need to read Edge Dancer. And Oathbringer is really long. So I did not want to put that on. Like, Oathbringer probably has 400 more pages on this. So that's why I did not put that on there. This would also fit for Andrew's readathon. It features a dungeon or a dragon. I mean, there are dragons in this book for sure. This would also fit for the R Fantasy Bingo, for having like an I think the prompt is having an LGBTQ protagonist or main character, that for sure. I do have some thoughts on this book. We'll just go now. I really only like one character right now. One. I think I would like another character who's also a POV character, but they just don't give a whole lot of time to her. They give like maybe 2 pages here and there. And I think I would really like her. But I don't know if I would like her because I only get like 2 pages of her at a time. So that's kind of why I'm struggling through this book is I only like 2 characters right now. And if I were to give this a rating right now, I'd give it maybe a 3-star. And so I'm like, do I want to read 800 pages of a 3-star book? I don't know. And so I don't know what to do with this book because you can see I've also annotated it. So what do I do with this book? I'm kind of kicking myself for annotating it because otherwise I'd be like, I just put on my Pango store and move on with my life. But I started annotating it. So what do? I don't know. And yes, I could take the tabs out, but I've been underlining things in pen. And I don't know if I've used an erasable pen or not. So that is my plan for September. Let me know of those books, what you've read, and if I should prioritize any books on there that I haven't said, I really, really want to read that. All of them are like, it's really hard because all of them I really do want to read. I just genuinely don't know what kind of time I'm going to have in September because I just don't know what this school year is going to shape up to be. Fortunately, right now, I actually have time to read a book like during my day, which is shocking to me because I've never had that. So that's been exciting. But let me know what I should prioritize. Let me know what your thoughts are on the books. Keep them spoiler free, and happy reading. And as always, please like and subscribe. Bye.